The area of a shape is the space inside a two-dimensional figure. And when we find the area, we express our answer in square units. So that might be square feet, square inches, depends on what the units are in the problem. The base of a shape is a side of a polygon used for reference to determine an altitude. A base can be any side. It does not always have to be the bottom of the shape. An altitude is very closely related to a base. An altitude is a perpendicular segment from a base to the opposite side or vertex. We've talked about altitudes before, and an altitude and a height are pretty much the same thing. The height is the length of the altitude. The altitude is the segment itself. So if we look at some shapes, in a triangle, the altitude would go from one side perpendicular to the other side. So that's an altitude for that triangle. It goes from one vertex and it's perpendicular to the base. The length of the altitude is called the height. If the shape isn't a triangle, like maybe it is a trapezoid, the height could just go between the two bases. The height of that trapezoid could go from here to here. Both of those red lines represent altitudes, and they're altitudes because they are perpendicular to a base. Now with both of those shapes, the base does not have to be the part that's at the bottom. I could turn this way, and it's still an altitude. No matter how I look at it, it's still an altitude because it's still perpendicular, even though the base is not at the bottom. Same thing with the triangle. If we turned that triangle, I don't know if I'll be able to, but if I did turn the triangle, the base wouldn't have to be the bottom side. It could be any side that we want.